My dear friends, good afternoon. Today I will discuss about forensic examination of glass sample part 2. So in this part 2, I will discuss about density determination or comparison of glass samples for the comparison of two glass samples. So for the forensic comparison of the density of the glass samples, the first method is sink oblique floating methods. So in these methods, the liquids of the different densities are prepared by mixing of the two different liquids having the different densities. Suppose, for example, in this case, we have taken bromoform density 2.9 gram per centimeter cubes and other chemical is nitrobenzene 1.2 gram per centimeter cube. So by mixing up these two chemicals, a mixer or the liquid can be prepared by the different densities. So here I have prepared the 5 different solutions of the liquids having the density greater than 1.2 or less than 2.9, because in the glass we know the density lie between these ranges. So by mixing of these two different liquids, a desired density liquids can be prepared simply by applying this formula. T is a density of a liquid or the mixer after mixing the two liquids having the density D1 and D2. If we take the volume V1 of the liquid density D1, volume B2 density of D2, and this is a formula. So here we have taken the bromoform and the nitrobenzene. So suppose in case if V1 is equal to 2 ml, D1 is equal to density is equal to 2, B2 we have taken 1, or D2 density is equal to 1. So by this formula, if we mix up these two liquids of the different densities, the mixture of the density come in the 1.666 mg per ml. So it is clear, if the different liquids are prepared by mixing up the two different liquids, and we take these solutions, the different capillaries, and we drop any material like a glass in this case. If the sample density is greater than of this liquid sample and we drop inside this will sink if the density of the liquid is greater than density of the liquid. And if the density of our sample is less than of the density of this liquid, this will float. But in case of if the density our glass samples is equal to the density of liquid, this will float, immerse fully in the liquid. So by this simple formula be applied for comparison of the density of the two glass samples. This is another picture. Suppose in the forensic science we compare the two particles, two glass samples two pieces of the glass, there is a P1 and P2. Here we prepared a solution, and if the P1 and P2 has the different densities, suppose P2 has a higher density or P1 is a lesser density, so this is a floating and this is a sink in a liquid having the density which I prepared using this formula. So in this case, the P1 is floating and P2 is synced totally. So the density of this P2 is different by the density of the P1. And if particle P1 and P2 has the same density and this match with the liquids, this float at the same level. So this is a very good and very sensitive method for comparison of the density of the two glass samples. And if the density is slightly different, because density is a physical parameter are used for the comparison of the glass samples. And in this way, we can determine the density and compare the density of the glass samples. This method are used for the comparison of the two glass samples. One is found from the scene of crime and other taken as a standard. So in this video, I have only discussed for only one method. In the next video, I will describe the other methods. Thank you.